Hello and welcome back to my channel where we are reading the Bible in a year. We are reading the entire Bible in a year. And yes, it has been since June. I don't know when. But please forgive me. Please forgive me. So what we're going to do is we're going to still do this. We only have about 2 months left in the year, but we're gonna do this. By golly, we are gonna do this. A lot has happened in my life. I have started school. There were some obstacles I faced, but the Lord has really saw me through. All praises to Him. But we left off in Numbers, and what I'm doing is I'm just reading chapter to chapter. I think that will be easier for me to keep up with. So what we'll do is we'll read. I'm going to attempt to do 5 through 12, okay, before it's time for me to take my daughter to cheer. So I'm going to ask Alexa to sound the alarm when 5:45 comes. Alexa, let me know when it's 5:45.
Alarm set for 5:45 p.m.
All right, and here we go. So, Numbers 5, unclean persons. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the Israelites to put out of the camp everyone who is leprous or has a discharge, and everyone who is unclean through contact with a corpse. You shall put out both male and female, putting them outside the camp. They must not defile their camp where I dwell among them. The Israelites did so, putting them outside the camp as the Lord had spoken to Moses, so the Israelites did. Confession and restitution. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites. When a man or a woman wrongs another, breaking faith with the Lord, that person incurs guilt and shall confess the sin that has been committed. The person shall make full restitution for the wrong, adding 1/5 to it, and giving it to the one who has wronged. If the injured party has no next of kin to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, the restitution for wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest, in addition to the ram of atonement, with which atonement is made for the guilty party. Among all the sacred donations of the Israelites, every gift that they bring to the priest shall be his. The sacred donations of all are their own. Whatever anyone gives to the priest shall be his. Concerning an unfaithful wife. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites and say to them, if any man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him, if a man has had intercourse with her, but it is hidden from her husband, so that she is undetected, though she has defiled herself, and there is no witness against her, since she was not caught in the act. If a spirit of jealousy comes on him, and he is jealous of his wife, who has defiled himself, or if a spirit of jealousy comes on him, he is jealous of his wife, though she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and he shall bring the offering required for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. He shall pour no oil on it and put no frankincense on it, for it is a grain offering of jealousy, a grain offering of remembrance, bringing iniquity to remembrance. Then the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. The priest shall take the holy water in an earthen vessel and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle and put it into the water. The priest shall set the woman before the Lord, dishevel the woman's hair, and place in her hands the grain offering of remembrance, which is the grain offering of jealousy. In his own hand the priest shall have the water of bitterness that brings the curse. Then the priest shall make her take an oath, saying, if no man has lain with you, if you have not turned aside to uncleanness while under your husband's authority, be immune to this water of bitterness that brings the curse. But if you have gone astray while under your husband's authority, if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has had intercourse with you, let the priest make the woman take the oath of the curse and say to the woman, the Lord shall make you an execration and an oath among your people. When the Lord makes your uterus drop, your womb discharge. Now may this water that brings the curse enter your bowels and make your womb discharge, your uterus drop, and the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. Then the priest shall put these curses in writing and wash them off into the water of bitterness. He shall make the woman drink the water of bitterness that brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter her and cause bitter pain. The priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy out of the woman's hand, and shall elevate the grain offering before the Lord and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the grain offering as its memorial portion, and turn it into smoke on the altar, and afterwards shall make the woman drink the water. When he has made her drink the water, then she has defiled herself, and has been unfaithful to her husband. The water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain, and her womb shall discharge, her uterus drop, and the woman shall become an execration among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be immune and be able to conceive children. This is the law in cases of jealousy, when a wife, while under her husband's authority, goes astray and defiles herself, or when a spirit of jealousy comes on a man and he is jealous of his wife. Then he shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall apply his entire law to her. The man shall be free from iniquity, but the woman shall bear her iniquity. Chapter 6. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when either man or woman make a special vow, the vow of a Nazarite, themselves to the Lord, they shall separate themselves from wine and strong drink. They shall drink no wine, vinegar, or other vinegar, and shall not drink any grape juice, or eat grapes, fresh or dried. In the days as Nazarites, they shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine, not even the seeds or the skins. All the days of their Nazarite vow, no razor shall come upon the head until this time is complete, for which they separate themselves to the Lord. They shall be holy, they shall let the locks of the head grow long. All the days that they separate themselves to the Lord, they shall not go near a corpse. Even if their father or mother, brother or sister should die, they may not defile themselves, because their consecration to God is upon the head. All their days as Nazarites, they are holy to the Lord. If someone dies very suddenly nearby, defiling the consecrated head, then they shall shave the head on the day of their cleansing. On the 7th day, they shall shave it. On the 8th day, they shall bring 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The priest shall offer one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering, and make atonement for them, because they incurred guilt by reason of the corpse. They shall sanctify the head that same day, and separate themselves to the Lord for their days as Nazarites, and bring a male lamb a year old as a guilt offering. The former time shall be void, because the consecrated head was defiled. This is the law for the Nazarites. When the time of their consecration has been completed, they shall be brought to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and they shall offer their gift to the Lord. 1 male lamb a year old without blemish as a burnt offering, 1 ewe lamb a year old without blemish as sin offering, 1 ram without blemish as offering of well-being, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of choice flour mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil. With their grain offering and their drink offerings, the priest shall present them before the Lord, and offer their sin offering and burnt offering, and shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of well-being to the Lord. With the basket of unleavened bread, the priest also shall make the accompanying grain offering and drink offering. Then the Nazarite shall shave the consecrated head at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take the hair from the consecrated head and put it on the fire under the sacrifice of well-being. The priest shall take the shoulder of the ram when it is boiled, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them in the palms of the Nazarites. After they have shaved the consecrated head, then the priest shall elevate them as an elevation offering before the Lord. They are a holy portion for the priest, together with the breast that is elevated and the thigh that is offered. After that, the Nazarites may drink wine. This is the law for the Nazarites who take vow. Their offering to the Lord must be in accordance with the Nazarite vow, apart from what else they can afford. In accordance with whatever vow they take, they shall do, following the law for their consecration. The priestly benediction. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, Thus you shall bless the Israelites. You shall say to them, The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So thou shalt put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them. Chapter 7. Offerings of the leaders. On the day when Moses had finished setting up the tabernacle and had anointed and consecrated it with all its furnishings, and had anointed and consecrated the altar with all its utensils, the leaders of Israel, heads of the ancestral houses, the leaders of the tribes who were over those who were enrolled, made offerings. They brought their offerings before the Lord, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one an ox. They presented them before the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, Accept these from them, that they may be used doing the service of the tent of meeting, and give them to the Levites. Give them to the Levites, to each according to his service. So Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them to the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave to the Gershonites, according to their service. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave to the Merarites, according to their service, under the direction of the Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. But to the Kohathites he gave none, because they were charged with the care of holy things that had to be carried on the shoulders. The leaders also presented offerings for the dedication of the altar at the time when it was anointed, and the leaders presented their offering before the altar. The Lord said to Moses, They shall present their offerings, 1 leader for each day, for the dedication of the altar. The one who presented his offering on the first day was Nahshon, son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathanael, son of Zuar, the leader of Issachar, presented an offering. He presented for his offering 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil, for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and for the service sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Nathanael, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, the leader of the Zebulunites, his offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil, for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the 4th day, Eleazar, son of Shedeur, the leader of the Reubenites, his offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil or grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This is the offering of Eleazar, son of Shedeur. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, the leader of the Simeonites. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour, mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, I don't know, of the Gadites, leader of the Gadites. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, a burnt offering, 1 male goat for sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This is the offering of Eliasaph, son of Deuel. On the 7th day, Elisha, my son, of Emihod, the leader of the Ephraimites. His offering was 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour, mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Amihud. The 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedasur, the leader of the Manassites. His offering was 1 silver plate, 130 shekels, 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of choice flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 golden dish weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old for burnt offering, 1 male goat for sin offering, and for the sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs a year old. This is the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedusar. On the 9th day, Ebidan, son of Gideoni, the leader of the Benjamites. His offering was the same thing, as we're going to speed through. And then verse 66, on the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, the leader of the Danites. His offering was the same thing. And on the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Akron, leader of the Asherites. His offering was the same thing. All right. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, the leader of the Naphtalites, his offering was the same thing. This was the dedication, verse 84. This is the dedication of the offering to the altar at the time when it was anointed from the leaders of Israel. 12 silver plates, 12 silver basins, 12 golden dishes, each silver plate weighing 130 shekels, and each basin 70. All the silver of the vessels, 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The 12 golden dishes, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the dishes being 120 shekels. All the livestock for the burnt offering, 12 bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs, a year old, with their grain offering, and 12 male goats for a sin offering, and all the livestock for the sacrifice of well-being, 24 bulls, the rams 60, the male goats 60, the male lambs a year old 60. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. When Moses went to the tent of meeting to speak to the Lord, he would hear the voice speaking to him from above the mercy seat that was on the Ark of the Covenant between the two cherubim. Thus it spoke to him. Chapter 8, the 7 lamps. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and say to him, when you set up the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand. Aaron did so. He set up its lamps to give light in front of the lampstand as the Lord had commanded Moses. Now this was how the lampstand was made. Out of the hammered work of gold, from its base to its flowers, it was hammered work according to the pattern the Lord had shown Moses. So he made the lampstand. Consecration in the service of the Levites. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the Levites from among the Israelites and cleanse them. Thus you shall do to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle the water of purification on them. Have them shave their whole body with a razor and wash their clothes, and so cleanse themselves. Then let them take a young bull and his grain offering of choice flour mixed with oil, and you should take another young bull for a sin offering. You should bring the Levites before the tent of meeting and assemble the whole congregation of the Israelites. When you bring the Levites before the Lord, the Israelites shall lay their hands on the Levites. The Aaron shall present the Levites before the Lord as an elevation offering from the Israelites, that they may do the service of the Lord. The Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, and he shall offer the one for sin offering and the other for a burnt offering to the Lord, to make atonement for the Levites. Then you shall have the Levites stand before Aaron and his sons, and you shall present them as an elevation offering to the Lord. Thus you shall separate Levites from among the other Israelites, and the Levites shall be mine. Therefore the Levites may go in to do service at the tent of meeting once you have cleansed them and presented them as an elevation offering. For they are unreservedly given to me from among the Israelites. I have taken them for myself in a place of all that opened the womb, the firstborn of all the Israelites. For all the firstborn among the Israelites are mine, both human and animal. On the day that I struck down the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated them for myself. But I have taken the Levites in place of all the firstborn among the Israelites. Moreover, I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the Israelites, to do the service of the Israelites at the tent of meeting, and make atonement for the Israelites, in order that they may be no plague among the Israelites for coming too close to the sanctuary. Moses and Aaron and the whole congregation of the Israelites did with the Levites accordingly. The Israelites did with the Levites just as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning them. The Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes. Then Aaron presented them as an elevation offering before the Lord, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. Therefore the Levites went to do their service in the tent of meeting in attendance on Aaron and his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so they did with them. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, this applies to the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall begin to do duty in the service of the tent of meeting. And from the age of 50 years old, they shall retire from the duty of the service and serve no more. They may assist their brothers in the tent of meeting in carrying on their duties, but they shall perform no service. Thus you shall do with the Levites in assigning their duties. The Passover at Sinai. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the Israelites keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight, you shall keep it at its appointed time according to all its statutes and all its regulations. You shall keep it. So Moses told the Israelites that they should keep the Passover. They should keep the Passover in the first month of the 14th day of the month at twilight in the wilderness of Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So the Israelites did. Now there were certain people who were unclean through touching a corpse, so they could not keep the Passover on this day. They came before Moses and Aaron on that day and said to them, Although we are unclean through touching a corpse, why must we be kept from presenting the Lord's offering at its appointed time among the Israelites? Moses spoke to them, Wait, so that I may hear what the Lord will command concerning you. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelites, saying, Any one of you or your descendants who is unclean through touching a corpse or is away on a journey shall still keep the Passover to the Lord. In the second month, on the 14th day at twilight, they shall keep it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until morning, nor break a bone of it according to all the statute. For the Passover they shall keep it. But anyone who is unclean and is not on a journey or yet refrains from keeping the Passover shall be cut off from the people for not presenting the Lord's offering at its appointed time. Such a one shall bear the consequences for the sin. Any alien residing among you who wishes to keep the Passover to the Lord shall do so according to the statute of the Passover and according to its regulation. You shall have one statute for both the resident alien and the native, the cloud and the fire. On the day of the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the covenant, and from evening until morning it was over the tabernacle, having the appearance of fire. It was always so. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud lifted from the tent, when the Israelites would set out in place where the cloud settled down, there the Israelites would camp. At the command of the Lord, the Israelites would set out, and at the command of the Lord, they would camp. As long as the cloud rested over the tabernacle, they would remain in camp. Even when the cloud continued over the tabernacle many days, the Israelites would keep the charge of the Lord and would not set out. Sometimes the cloud would remain a few days over the tabernacle, and according to the command of the Lord, they would remain in camp, and then according to the command of the Lord, they would set out. Sometimes the cloud would remain from evening until morning, and when the cloud lifted in the morning, they would set out, or if it continued for a day and a night, when the cloud lifted, they would set out. Whether it was 2 days or a month or longer time, the cloud continued over the tabernacle, resting upon it. The Israelites would remain in camp and would not set out, but when it lifted, they would set out. At the command of the Lord, they would camp. At the command of the Lord, they would set out. They kept the charge of the Lord at the command of the Lord by Moses. Chapter 10, the silver trumpets. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Make 2 silver trumpets. You shall make them of hammered work. You shall use them for summoning the congregation and for breaking camp. When both are blown, the whole congregation shall assemble before you at the entrance of the tent of meeting. But if one is blown, then the leaders, the heads of the tribes of Israel, shall assemble for you. When you blow an alarm, the camps on the east side shall set out. When you blow a second alarm, the camps on the south shall set out. An alarm is to be blown whenever they are to set out, but when the assembly is to be gathered, you shall blow, but you shall not sound an alarm. The sons of Aaron the priest shall blow the trumpets. This shall be a perpetual institution for you throughout your generations. When you go to war in your land against the adversary who oppresses you, you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets, so you may be remembered before the Lord your God and be saved from your enemies. Also on your days of rejoicing, at your appointed festivals, and at the beginnings of your month, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over your sacrifices of well-being. They shall serve as a reminder on your behalf before the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. Departure from Sinai. On the second year of the second month, in the 12th day of the month, the cloud lifted from over the tabernacle of the covenant. Then the Israelites set out by stages from the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud settled down in the wilderness of Paran. They set out for the first time at the command of the Lord by Moses. The standard of the camp of Judah set out first, company by company, and over the whole company was Nahshon, son of Amminadab. Over the company of the tribe of Issachar was Nathaniel, son of Zuar. And over the company of the tribe of Zebulun was Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonites and the Maronites who carried the tabernacle set out. Next, the standard of the camp of Reuben set out, company by company. Over the whole company was Eleazar, son of Sheduar. Over the company of the tribe of Simeon was Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. And over the company of the tribe of Gad was Eliasaph, son of Dio. All right. Then the Kohathites who carried the holy things set out, and the tabernacle was set up before their arrival. Next, the standard of Ephraimite camp set out, company by company. Over the whole company was Elishama, son of Emihud. Over the company of the tribe of Manasseh was Gamaliel, son of Pedazar. And over the company of the tribe of Benjamin was Ebidan, son of Gideoni. Then the standard of the camp of Dan, acting as the rear guard of the camp, set out, company by company. Over the whole company was Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. Over the company of the tribe of Asher, my little girls here with me. That's if you hear coughing, it's her. Over the company of the tribe of Asher was Pagiel, son of Akron, and over the company of the tribe of Naphtali was Ahira, son of Enon. This is the order of the march of the Israelites, company by company, when they set out. Moses said to Hobab, son of Reuel, of the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are setting out for a place which the Lord said, I will give to you. Come with us, and we shall treat you well, for the Lord has promised good to Israel. But he said to him, I will not go. I will go back to my own land and to my own kindred. He said, do not leave us, for you know where we shall camp in the wilderness, and you will serve as eyes for us. Moreover, if you go with us, whatever good the Lord does for us, the same we will do for you. So they set out from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey, with the ark of the covenant of the Lord going before them 3 days' journey to seek out a resting place for them. The cloud of the Lord being over them by day when they set out from the camp. Whenever the ark set out, Moses would say, Arise, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and your foes flee before you. And whenever it came to rest, he would say, Return, O Lord, of the 10,000s of Israel. Chapter 11. Complaining in the desert. Complaining. Now when the people complained, hearing the Lord about their misfortunes, the Lord heard it and was angry, and his anger was kindled. Then the fire of the Lord burned against them and consumed some outlying parts of the camp. But the people cried out to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire abated. So that was the place called Tabirah, because the fire of the Lord burnt against them. The rabble among them had a strong craving, and the Israelites also wept again and said, If only we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at. Now the manna was like a coriander seed, and its color was like the color of gum resin. The people went around and gathered it on the ground, ground it in the mills, and beat it in the mortars, and boiled it in pots and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was like the taste of cakes baked with oil. When the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna would fall with it. Moses heard the people weeping through their families and the entrances of the tents. When the Lord became very angry and Moses was displeased, so Moses said to the Lord, "Why have you treated your servant so badly? Why have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Did I conceive all this people? Did I give birth to them? That you shall say to me, carry them in your bosom as a nurse carries a suckling child, to the land that you promised an oath to their ancestors, where I go to meet and give to all this people? For they come weeping to me and say, give us meat to eat. I am not able to carry all this people alone, for they are too heavy for me." All right. Alexa, stop. I'm going to finish up. I am not able to carry all this people alone, for they are too heavy for me. Alexa, stop. Try it again. I am not able to carry all this people alone, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you are going to treat me, put me to death at once. If I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see my misery. All right. So that was chapter 11, 1 through 15. And then we'll pick it back up at 16. And I guess the next time I read, I didn't get to 12. I said I was going to try to get to 12. But we're going to do the rest of chapter 11 through guess we're going to go through 11 to 16, chapter 16. All right, next time we pick up. All right, so take this card, put it in here. All right, until next time, thank you so much for joining me in this reading. And I hope to see you again. And we're going to finish out this year, and we're going to try and get it done, because next year I'm going to pick it back up. I have the Bible in 52 weeks. I would hope that and it's by Kimberly Moore. I hope that you pick up a copy, and that way we can read and study together. It's a very nice book. So like each week they go from these chapters, starting with Genesis or whatever, and they'll give you points to ponder and actions for the week or whatever. I won't go over the questions with you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically take my answers to the questions and just make it a total lesson. That is what I have planned for the year. But yes, so it's just basically a year-long Bible study through the entire Bible. All right. But anyway, until next time, so long and be blessed.